The Bengals continue to add proven veterans that want to come to Cincinnati. That is a big deal. Let's dive into that. Plus, the latest on Jonah Williams and T. Higgins. Well, he's got a new number. Hi again, everyone, and welcome in to Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien of allbengals.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get every single video that we post delivered straight to your device, to your TV. Thank you so much for watching. And let's dive on into it, because to me, this Irv Smith Jr. signing on the surface is, well, a guy coming to Cincinnati to try to catch passes from Joe Burrow, show the NFL that he can stay healthy and cash in elsewhere. On the surface, that's how I think a lot of people view it, right? CJ Uzomah got paid. Hayden Hurst got paid. Irv Smith Jr. hoping to be the next tight end that benefits from catching passes here in Cincinnati. But when I read Jeff Hobson's piece at Bengals.com, and so far he's the only media member with the Bengals that cover the Bengals that has been able to talk to Irv Smith Jr., one thing that stood out to me is the fact that Smith had a chance to rejoin his Alabama teammates in Miami, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle. He had a chance to replace Mike Gesicki, essentially, in Miami, learn from a young offensive-minded coordinator, all of those things. So let's just say it out loud. 24 years old, Miami, a good team, playoff team, familiarity with his teammates from college that are there now. And he said, no, I'm going to Cincinnati. This is probably the first time in franchise history where that is the case, where Cincinnati is a destination, where guys like Ezekiel Elliott are reaching out to the Bengals. Hey, Bengals, can you give me a look? Can you give me a look? Come on. I want to catch passes from Joe Burrow and pass block for Joe Burrow and run behind that line. Cincinnati's a destination. The Bengals are a destination. And veterans want to come to Cincinnati. And it's not just Irv Smith Jr., but that's the example, the latest example, the most recent example. And given the circumstances, I think is a darn good example of what the state of the franchise is in right now, which is the best I think it's ever been, which should be the case, right? After going to back-to-back AFC championship games, winning playoff games in back-to-back years, making an appearance in Super Bowl 56, having legitimate Super Bowl aspirations in 2023. All of these things are realistic, but they've made franchise history over the past 2 years. So this should be this continual climb. They should be attracting players that they might not normally attract, or beating out teams like the Dolphins for players that they normally wouldn't beat out. Orlando Brown Jr., the biggest free agency signing the Bengals had this year, certainly this offseason, and one of the biggest in franchise history, one of the biggest in the NFL over the past month. Why did he come to Cincinnati? Well, his agent reached out to the Bengals. Hey, Orlando would love to block for that Joe Burrow, that number 9. If we can make things work, he's certainly willing to come to Cincinnati. Free agents are reaching out to the Bengals, and their representatives are reaching out to the Bengals. And so whether it's Irv Smith Jr. signing, whether it's Ezekiel Elliott hoping to land in Cincinnati, whether it's Orlando Brown Jr. reaching out and making things work to be a franchise left tackle for this organization, the examples go on and on and on. And I'll give you one more, and I don't think he'll mind me sharing this. La'el Collins, and I get it. It was a mixed year for him, and he's recovering from the ACL, and we don't know what his future holds in Cincinnati. Obviously, I hope he makes a full recovery and balls out next year. That said, well, this year, I guess it is the 2023 season officially. That said, last year I would talk to him in the locker room and just chop it up here and there. And a lot of the times I'll talk to players, no one ever knows about it, right? And it's just, I'm trying to get to know them, talk with them. La'el loves the culture, loves the locker room culture, loves everything about being in Cincinnati, loves how the coaches treated him and treat him rather, and all of those things. And so that goes a long way too. So it's not just Joe Burrow and winning and contention and Jamar Chase. By the way, with Irv Smith, I should have mentioned Jamar Chase and Irv Smith grew up in the same town. in New Orleans. They played against each other in high school and college. They know each other. Jamar Chase was really excited about the signing. That said, the culture matters too. So Zach Taylor deserves some credit there because that travels. When a veteran like La'el Collins is established in the league and knows guys, went to LSU and knows, for example, the Odell Beckham Juniors and high priority free agents like that, all the way down, that trickles down. So people hear about that. And so if it's like, yeah, they might be winning, but this is not a fun place to play. No, it's the opposite. It's all, come join us. Come join us. So the Bengals are a destination, and it is as appealing to play in Cincinnati as it's ever been since they were founded in 1968. And I don't think that's exaggerating. I don't think that that's something that it's not like I haven't done research about the Bengals history. I'll tell you that. I'm working on a project right now. Can't share it yet, but breaking all of the Bengals history down. And so I think that it's more appealing now, more enticing than ever to be a Cincinnati Bengal. That said, as we switch gears, and I want to get to T. Higgins' number change in just a second. One guy who requested to not be a Bengal anymore, Jonah Williams. And Kelsey Conway of the Enquirer, she's at the Bengals owners meetings. And let me, just for sake of making sure I say the exact words, I want to look at her tweet here. She said, the Bengals didn't communicate with Jonah Williams before they were planning to sign Orlando Brown Jr. He was blindsided. The team didn't tell him ahead of time they were thinking of moving him to right tackle. A source close to the situation tells me. All right, so source close to the situation, why do things leak? Well, this is obviously Jonah's camp, someone with Jonah, or someone that believes in Jonah. That's what I would say. And I haven't asked Kelsey about this. This is me speculating, but I want to share my thoughts. Okay, they didn't ask you. They also have to get the deal done. Like, you think Dax Hill got consulted about Nick Scott? Do you think that Logan Wilson got consulted about Jermaine Pratt and then retaining Jermaine Pratt? Do you think that the Bengals reached out to Devin Asiasi and said, hey, I just want to let you know Irv Smith Jr. is coming to town? No. With Jonah, I think that this was really the only way the Bengals are moving him. I don't think they were going to draft a guy at 28 to play left tackle. They got the best guy on the market, a guy who's clearly better than Jonah, in his prime, been more durable. Of course you play him at left tackle. And by the way, that's where he wanted to play. That was something that the Bengals could offer him. I totally get it. This thing came together very quickly. Jonah has some hurt feelings. I understand it. I think he can get over this, right? We've all been punched in the gut by our employer one time or another. It's happened, right? You can get past it. You can. Whether it's 12.6 million reasons, whether it's the incentive of playing really well this year and showing everyone that you deserve the bag next year, the Mike McGlinchey-sized bag, all of those things. So I get it. It sucks. I think he gets over it. We'll see if the Bengals trade him. They still could, of course. I don't think the market for Jonah Williams is all that hot, and that's part of why this leaks. But I don't think that this helps Jonah's case at all. I just kind of think it's some hurt feelings, which I get. I understand. It also doesn't really matter in the big picture, and it's only March. I think he'll be fine. That said, T. Higgins switching his number, that's a fun storyline. I love that he went from 85 to 5. It just looks sleek, doesn't it? It just looks sleek. The Bengals put together a really cool video. I posted the entire thing at allbengals.com. But yeah, it's a fun edit. And I think that 9 to 5, I know 9 to 85 was such a fun thing. And you pay homage to Chad and Carson and all of those things. The 9 to 5 connection, that's pretty cool. I mean, think about the shirts. They kind of write themselves, right? The signs, you can make that happen. So I really like it. Congrats to T. Higgins. I know he was excited to switch to the number 5. That's going to do it here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I just had a bunch of different thoughts, wanted to put them together. And Cincinnati's a destination. You wouldn't be able to tell from the weather outside right now. I hope it warms up. It is late March. But for Andrew Fox Miller, our channel coordinator, I'm James Rapien, signing off for now on CBT, Cincinnati Bengals Talk.